What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. Look, y'all, Oscar Valdez and Conceicao, right? If I'm saying his name right. Mixed reactions for the fight. There's people who genuinely feel Valdez won or felt like it was a draw or felt like he lost. There's people who genuinely feel like Conceicao genuinely won, should have been a draw, or genuinely lost. But there's a lot of people who feel some kind of way because the fight went on, regardless, because of Valdez failing his A and B sample and nothing being done about it. And when people want answers and they don't get it, they'll get edgy, they'll get pushy. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had the fight score 7-5. I thought that it could have either been a draw or you had to go with Valdez. Simply because Conceicao, I feel like he was the first, at 117, 111 was bullshit. Or 110 to 111, whatever it was, that was bullshit. I had Conceicao winning the early rounds. Definitely. It's people remember the later rounds more at times, than the early ones. Now, how the judges scored that fight that way? But here's the deal. Conceicao, his punch volume dropped. He got tired, and he wasn't doing. A lot of times he wasn't doing anything. And he was jabbing. He got to the point he was throwing a jab, but nothing coming behind it. Valdez's face was horrible. I mean, he busted him up pretty good, bruised him up pretty bad, and he looked far worse than he did. And we haven't seen Valdez look like that in a long time. Like, it's been a while. So he definitely put some hurt on him. And like I said, 7-5 for Valdez or 6-6. Let's be real. I just don't think, honestly, I don't think Conceicao did enough to really feel like he won. I just don't feel like he did enough. But he was giving Valdez problems, and you know what, too? I felt like Valdez did enough to win the fight. But again, people are not going to care because they feel like it's favoritism with this WBC shit with their fighters. That somehow, and listen, let me tell you something, okay? In the community section on the channel, I posted up a shot, and I also made a short, thumbnail type video where it has a bunch of names up there. Of course, there's a lot more names to that list, but there's a bunch of names up there stating who took what. And a lot of people always want to try to tell you what's what and what's this and that. I don't care about trying to analyze all that shit. Bottom line is this, and I'm gonna say this like for the, for everybody. There should not be a bunch of different. Oh, I'm gonna test this time or this time. Oh, they go do this test this way, and then I'm gonna do it that way. And no, they should make this mandatory for every fighter. And pretty much, it should be one organization. Just like, for example, how you used to could go and get a fake ID and you're 18, but you're in the place where you need to be 21, or you're 16, but you're in the place where you gotta be, or doing something where you gotta be 18. So no, you have to have a DMV ID. Okay, well, that's what they need to do, because that would eliminate all of this stable of fighters type thing, or if you one of these fighters, or you're part of this clique, or that type of thing, then you get favoritism, or somehow we make things go away. Let's just be real. If another fighter pops dirty and that fighter gets suspended, stripped of his title, whatever it may be, and nothing happened to Valdez, this is going to be an outrage. And you know, the crazy thing is people always talk about how boxing needs this to happen, boxing needs that to happen. But then when their favorite fighters, something happens with them, it's like the rules change all of a sudden. I don't care who you are. They need to be more strict to where, you know what, they don't even know when the testing is going to, like, they need to make it happen. Because in all honesty, what's going on is just happening way too often. There's going to be people saying, well, I didn't know, you know, I just been taking the same things, you know, I've never done anything, this, that, the third. Okay, they could be telling the truth. We don't know that though, do we? And the reality of it is, like I said, some people are going to be suspended, some people are going to be stripped of their title, things are going to happen, but then certain fighters, no, nothing won't happen to them. And that causes division also. In several ways. Boxing has become money to the point where you got guys right now. There's fighters right now who we're still talking about. He's trying to prove himself. He still hasn't had that signature fight, and that motherfucker's a millionaire. Boxing is all about money. If they can make money off of these guys get sponsors and all of this is on top of that, and you see guys on Gatorade commercials or see them, you know, posing for Gatorade or Nike or whatever. This is someone that's marketable. Now you think that is just a coincidence though, that certain fighters don't get, you know, like people just say, yeah, well, Valdez ain't that big. Yeah, well, he's big enough. And I'm going to say it this way. Whether he's innocent or whether he's not innocent, guess what? We could say the same thing for other fighters who've been suspended. We could say the same thing for other fighters who've been stripped. So the whole thing is, if they got more strict, people will be more careful. So then auntie and uncle can't come around and say, oh, you're in pain? Oh, put this on it. Okay. All of a sudden, you fail your A and B sample. Oh, my aunt came over with some pig grease or some fucking pork and bean juice or whatever, and I rubbed it on my elbow and the pain went away. But I guess that's what's in my system. It's too much of the same thing happening over and over and nobody doing a goddamn thing about it. So what do you think is actually going to happen? Think about it. What is actually going to happen when a person can fail their A and B samples and all somebody got to do without really going into detail is, oh no, it was a misunderstanding, or no, well, we retested, or oh, we got the explanation as to what happened. Everybody else is going, okay, so what happened? Then all of a sudden another fighter pops dirty, suspended. You don't think people are going to go back and say, hold up. Okay, you suspended that guy. Okay, cool. But how come you didn't suspend this guy? How come that? And it's going to be a fighter, you know, look, a fighter just got killed in Montreal not too long ago. And you know, when you don't have when a fighter dies and he doesn't have a big name, you don't hear too much about it. Which is stupid because it's a human life. But that's just how people are. When you die, you can die in the ring and the person didn't have anything in his system, okay? But, so imagine when you do have something that gives you that edge, and this is what people don't understand. We're not talking about some He-Man cartoon like you, Popeye, you eat spinach and all of a sudden you can punch through brick walls. No. For you to have any type of advantage that didn't come natural, just from your training, anything that's in your system that helped you get that advantage, and this is what people are overlooking, can be the difference between somebody losing their life in the ring. You can have something in your system and still get your ass whooped. It's not like it's going to increase your skills, okay? But anything that can increase your stamina, your punching power, your endurance, you know, whatever. And it's not natural. It's not legal. And if it's illegal, it shouldn't be done. And if that's asking too much, and right now the WBC is the target, okay? But if that's asking too much, as to where testing, it should just be different. And these guys ain't got shit to bitch about. This is what they chose to do. They wanted to become boxers, right? And for those especially that's making big money, big money, and they're gonna bitch about having to test, no, they shouldn't. And in all honesty, it's the type of thing where I'll give you an example. It's not about him taking anything, okay? But when Muhammad Ali fought Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, according to Freddie Pacheco, said that Muhammad Ali failed his test. He couldn't even follow the balance. Every speech was already slurred, and they covered it up so Ali could fight. And if you guys remember, that wasn't his last fight. A lot of people say that, yeah, it was his last. No, he fought Trevor Berbick after that. And he was getting punched in that fight. He put up a better fight than he did against Holmes, but Ali was done at that point. So how do you twice the same thing? They could have easily raised money to help Ali out. They could have easily, hey man, we're gonna do some charities for you. We're gonna do this. No, you gave a lot to this sport, man. Nobody had a bigger impact than you did on this. They could have easily did that. I remember WCW Wrestling did a fundraiser for the Muhammad Ali Foundation or something like that. I mean, let's just be real. They could have done something other than, champ, we ain't gonna let you go in there like that. Nah, we don't want to see nothing happen to you, man. You already, come on. They could have easily did something for Ali. If they will cover up for a guy to go in the ring and fight, okay, that is not healthy enough to fight, shouldn't have been in the first place. Y'all saw what happened to him. Who's to say who they won't cover up for now for doping? Now, if Holmes would have killed Ali in there, because Ali got beat up bad, and luckily for Ali, Holmes wasn't a guy with like Foreman's type power or something, or Frazier's type power, because Ali was, that's the thing, Ali can take a bomb. He probably still wouldn't have went down, who knows? And that's even worse, because now, that accumulation, you know what I'm saying? So, we don't know. There's a lot of shit that I've been seeing and researching about this type of stuff, like even just things that's been going on that had nothing to do with boxing. You know what I'm saying? And people using these things to try to get advantages for different reasons, of course. But at the end of the day, when people don't have pressure on them, when they don't have to have anything to worry about, they're going to do what they're going to do. It's just like you have an area. There's no police there. There's nobody to stop what's going on there. And all this crime is going on, and, everything, whether from the drug dealing, the gangbanging, the prostitution, all of that stuff going on. And what, human trafficking. Then all of a sudden they police these areas. They start rebuilding. They start to tighten down. Guess what happens? All that stops. So standing from the outside looking in going, them motherfuckers, man, that's how they choose to live. Yeah, well, you know what? Until somebody stop it, it's going to continue to happen. It's no different. And this is all I'm saying. I don't give a fuck what, who the fighter is, what nationality you are. I don't give a shit about all that. People want to get sensitive because you're pointing out shit that's facts. I'm not the one who tests these guys, but when that test comes up that motherfucker was dirty, he felt this, he felt that. Hey, bottom line, people keep saying VADA is the very best and should be the only ones. Okay, then cool. Make VADA official. Make it official where these guys can't cheat. Let me tell y'all something. I remember going for a job interview one time. There was about 60 people in that room. This guy came in the room and said, listen, just so y'all know, if anybody smoked any marijuana, drank anything, did something, don't go in there because they're not going to hire you, because it's going to show up and they're not going to hire you. Go home, get clean, and come back, for the next, orientation. There was 5 of us left in there. They had this one dude came in there, and what he did, he had like one of them little Tic Tac boxes or something like that, the little candy. It was like, yo, nah, I let my nephew piss in the shit. So you know what I'm saying? So when I go in the bathroom, you know, and what he didn't know, there was gonna be a motherfucker standing right in the room with you, cause you got your back turned. He can't see you. He hand you the cup. You go. Put the cap, give it to him. He go. Right? So he couldn't get away with that shit. And when he found out, oh, somebody in there? Damn. Boom. Now it's 4 of us. See? So it's what I'm saying. Just an example of there's people who will go that extra mile to cheat. And you think if they asked him and they didn't see, let's say somebody said that they thought they saw you with something, nah, hell no, nah, not me, nah. He's not going to admit it. Especially when he knows, oh, there's no proof, it's just accusations. They need to get more strict. And I'll say this, as a human being, fight fan or whatever you want to call yourself, but as a human being, if you're okay with the fighter who you like getting his hand raised, and you don't care whether he's dirty or whether he's clean, then you're a piece of shit too. And there's no wonder why you guys get upset when somebody point out what was already said. It's not like we're making the news up. We're reporting the news that everybody can see on YouTube or whatever other outlets they have it on. You guys see it, but you want to get all, oh, because it's my countrymen. I don't, like I told you, I don't give a fuck about your countrymen. I don't give a shit about your feelings, because what we're talking about is plain and simple. Either you clean or you're not. And if that's asking too much for the sport to be cleaned up, then you and anybody else, whoever feels some kind of way about it, like I said, you're a piece of shit too. And you know what? Losers are losers, and misery loves company. So that's all I think any decent, down-to-earth human being is asking for, man. Like, yo, make sure that these fighters are safe. When Floyd was pushing for it, oh, he a pussy. Oh man, he just motherfucking scared to fight. Oh, yeah, okay, whatever. At the end of the day, everybody, if you got nothing to hide, take the damn test. And don't do it where, you know, these guys take certain things and it's in their system and they random. Don't let them know ahead of time. This is the type of shit where, let me explain something to y'all, right? If you go from the last time this person was tested, and just, hey, listen, nothing personal. We just want to make sure the sport is clean. We want to make sure everybody's coming in here the way they're supposed to. That's all. That's all. Because trust me, like I'm telling you, somebody else get popped and nothing, and they get suspended, it's going to be an outrage. And that person won't be the last one, as long as things keep happening the way it's happening now. Whoever's next after Valdez, it'll be somebody after that person, somebody, and boxers already suffering enough. Y'all don't understand. When you are a fighter, like I said earlier, you're still trying to get that signature fight, and you're already a millionaire. These fighters, just like the people in the business, these promotions and these sanctioning bodies, these people are all about money. They're all about money. So even if they knew somebody was dirty and there's big money on the line, you think they really want to cancel a fight? Nah. So sometimes your heroes are villains, and you find out the hard way, and then you're in denial about it. Now, me personally, I'm not going to point my finger and say, oh, I think this person is dirty. No, I'm not there to know. But according to the news that we get, when a person failed their test, you can get as offensive as you want and try to defend them, but the reality is, if it goes for one, it should go for everybody. And I'm not at all saying because they didn't suspend Valdez or any fighter that wasn't suspended or nothing happened, that they should let the next person get away with it. No. What I'm saying is, when that shit happens, like if somebody right now, at this point right now, right? Let's say clean slate. Not really, because what happened, but let's just say clean slate, that, okay, what happened, what people was getting away with before? No. Right now, we coming down on that shit. No more. Right now, everybody random testing, and you have to go to VADA. Fuck all this other shit. No. All right? And from this point on, everybody needs to be mindful of what they're putting in their body. Plain and simple. They should have been already doing it. But now, clean slate. The very next person you fill your A and your B sample, if that person is innocent, well, what they say the next best thing is the hair follicle, right? Okay. Whatever those procedures are, let VITA handle all that shit. And if that is a sure way to know the truth, okay. Everybody has to do it. Everybody. If you got a bald ass head, well, grow enough hair where they can snip, whatever. Wherever they got to take it from. All right? Plain and simple. We need to know that these fighters are clean. Because you can sit here, yeah, wave your flag and jump up and all that, and then find out the motherfucker been cheating all along. Whoever they are. So, anyway, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.